2025 is here. A new year is not just a date, it's a blank page, a new chapter in the story of you. This video combines 7 of the most impactful lessons to help you take control of your life, master discipline, reset your mindset, and achieve your biggest comeback yet. Whether you face setbacks or just want to level up, this guide will show you exactly how to start strong and stay ahead. Let's dive into the blueprint for making 2025 your breakthrough year.
The more you open your life up for display, the more people find ways to drag you down. It's a natural sociological phenomenon, but there's something powerful about disappearing and working in the shadows. Becoming unavailable and committing to becoming the next version of you in secret can be exhilarating. Imagine reappearing, your transformation shocking the world. Funny thing is, by then, you won't care. You'll have learned in the shadows that the only opinion that matters is yours. Today, we're breaking down how to do this the right way. We'll cover the 3 key parts. First, how to disappear. Second, what to do in the shadows. Third, how to reappear. And if you mess up any part of this, especially the last, you'll regret it. Let's get into it. Part 1. How to disappear the right way. First things first, how do we disappear the right way? Step 1. Shut your mouth. Your mouth betrays you more than you know. Get it under control. Stop speaking openly about your life to anyone. Family, friends, co-workers, no one. The only exception is your life partner, and that's if you know they want you to succeed. You'll have trouble controlling your mouth at first. It's natural to spill information, but you need to fight that urge. Learn to catch thoughts before they leave your mouth. Become a mystery to everyone, and then you can move in the shadows. Step 2. Only care what you think. Everyone doesn't matter anymore. To disappear and stay hidden, you will have to reprogram your mind. You have to not care what others think. First of all, they don't care about you. But the problem is, you think that they care about you, and that dictates a lot of your actions. You need to kill that side of you that cares what others think. What you have to do is create a person in your mind. That person is you, and you have to obsess about what that person thinks about you. And that's the only person that matters. Would you be proud of you? Would you be happy about what you did? We're so driven by what others think. You have to cheat and make you the other person. Through this process, you will be less a puppet of others and more in control of your own life. This is not an easy task, and it takes practice and repetition. Share in the comments if you've been able to figure this trick out and explain how. Step 3. Hide your plans. You'll develop some ambitious plans in this journey. You'll get excited and want to share your plans with those around you. Don't you dare. Keep those plans close to your chest, like they are the passwords to your treasure. A healthy way to think about it is to imagine that every part of your plan that leaks out reduces your chances of accomplishing those plans by 5%. Every time you speak about your plans and show them openly to people, you are hurting yourself. You are satisfying others and hurting yourself. Stop being so careless and be surgically intentional. If you need to get advice or benefit from someone's expertise to aid in your planning, then do so with precision and focused intent. Find the exact right person, reveal only the bare minimum, obtain the knowledge you need, and disappear again. Part 2. What to do in the shadows. Now that you've disappeared, what do you do in the shadows? Step 1. Hide your progress. Progress will come. It may take some time, but it will arrive. And you'll notice that progress is more easily had when you disappear. But don't let anyone see it. Don't show off your improved physique. Don't show off your improved wealth. Don't show off your new skills. Just focus on progressing even more. Disappearing is only worth it if it gets you through the entire transformation. Going back to your old ways mid-transformation will probably reverse all of the progress you've made, and you'll be back at square one. You will feel the natural urge to share about the changes you are seeing in your life. You will have to flex your willpower and keep things boxed in. Use that energy to pour more fuel into your efforts. Recycling that energy can help get you to the next level in your journey. Step 2. Hide your pain. Hide your tears, blood, and failures. Going ghost mode or monk mode or whatever, basically crushing it in the shadows, is going to be tough. You're going to be physically hurt, mentally fatigued, and you may bleed or cry after facing filter after filter that stand between you and progress. What would be your instinct at each wall? Maybe go complain about it to a close friend, or receive some words of comfort from your family. Yeah, you guessed it. You'll need to shut the metaphorical pie hole and bleed, sweat, and cry, all by your lonesome. Scream into the wind. Let those tears flow from your face. Patch up your wounds with a first aid kit, but do it yourself. Do it in the shadows and let it build your strength and character. Let each moment of rock bottom be the moment of catapulting you to another level of performance. It's those moments of pain that a new you emerges. Embrace that pain and go as far as looking forward to it. True Beast Mode. Part 3. How to reappear. Now we're ready to transform. Number 1. Pick your targets. What are you going to transform? It's simple. To become something through this process, you need to know what that something is. Be specific about this. What is it that you want to build? Want to be absolutely jacked and unrecognizable? Want to have a money printing business? Whatever it is, be very clear on what you want to accomplish. Write it down. Put it up in places that you can see it. But remember, no one else can see it. Number 2. Revolve your life around crushing it. Every waking hour should be planned to drive towards your goals. Be obsessed. You will need the mentality that this is your one chance in life. Dedicate your every breath to it. Everything that you do should be intentional and should be to aid you in crushing it. Move to an apartment that is close to the gym or exercise class that works well for your goals. Join a class that teaches you the skills needed to accomplish your goals. Time box your day so that you are spending at least a few hours on working on your transformation each day. Dedicate a day to looking at your plan, updating it, tracking your progress towards your goals, and breaking down the larger goals into smaller, manageable goals. Do all that it takes. Number 3. Reprogram your mind. You're going to have to love this disappearing act. You will have to love crushing it in the shadows. You will feel everything is quite strange at the beginning, but eventually, you will find yourself enjoying the pain and not being seen. This is going to include a shift in your thinking, a reprogramming of your mind. It is something that will be a part of your positive transformation, so embrace it and help the change occur. After you've transformed, you can reappear, but something interesting will have happened. Reappear. This reappearing back into society is something you won't need anymore. If you do this right, you won't care to reappear. You'll have now become one with the shadow. Your life will have transformed beyond your expectations. You will always keep crushing it and will keep pushing towards bigger goals, better goals, and you will remain a mystery to most. You'll find that you found a calming peace in the shadows, and that you found a new life that you enjoy far greater than what you had before. Life isn't a constant party. Life, it's a battle, a relentless struggle against mediocrity and excuses. Want to know the secret ingredient that separates winners from dreamers? It's discipline. Discipline isn't pretty or elegant. It isn't a luxurious spa where you relax and feel good about yourself. Discipline is a trench where you face your inner demons, where you decide if you control your destiny or let life dominate you. How many times have you looked in the mirror and told yourself you could do more? How many times have you let the chance to change your life slip by because you felt comfortable in your safety zone? It's time to break those mental shackles and unleash your inner beast. Discipline isn't for the faint of heart. It's for those who are willing to get up when everyone else is asleep, for those who don't seek excuses but solutions. Life waits for no one, and those who succeed aren't the most talented but the most disciplined. Welcome to the club. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear could change your life forever. Number 1. The power of discipline. Life is not a ceaseless celebration or an endless feast. It's a tireless battle against mediocrity, a war against the ordinary and the commonplace. Every day, we are faced with the temptation to settle, to accept less than we are capable of, to succumb to the comfort of the average. But within this struggle lies the essence of our existence. The world is filled with dreamers, those who aspire for greatness, yearn for success, and envision a life beyond the ordinary. Yet, dreams alone do not translate into reality. The bridge that connects the realm of dreams to the world of reality is discipline. Discipline is the silent force, the invisible hand that guides us towards our goals. It's the relentless pursuit of improvement, the refusal to accept mediocrity. It's the voice in our head that says, "Keep going," when everything else screams, "Give up." It's the ability to stay focused on our goals, to persist in the face of adversity, to keep moving forward when the path is steep and the journey is hard. Discipline isn't glamorous. It doesn't come with the flash of inspiration or the thrill of a breakthrough. It's often tedious, monotonous, and difficult. Yet, it's the bedrock of every success story, the common thread that weaves through the tapestry of achievements. Number 2. The trench of discipline. Discipline is not a beautiful painting to be admired from afar. It's not a plush, luxurious spa where you recline, bask in comfort, and feel good about yourself. No, discipline is far from these pleasantries. It's a trench, a deep, muddy, and often uncomfortable place where you come face to face with your inner demons. In the trench of discipline, you confront your fears, your weaknesses, and your excuses. It's where you grapple with the temptation to take the easy path, to give in to instant gratification, to abandon your dreams for the sake of comfort. It's where you decide whether you are the master of your destiny or a puppet to your circumstances. The trench of discipline is where you make the hard choices. It's where you decide to wake up early, to work when you'd rather rest, to persist when you'd rather quit. It's where you choose to say no to distractions and yes to your goals. It's where you decide to take control of your life, rather than letting life control you. Number 3. Break free from comfort zones. How often have you gazed at your reflection in the mirror, whispering to yourself that you are capable of achieving more? How frequently have you let golden opportunities to transform your life slip through your fingers, simply because you were ensnared in the deceptive comfort of your safety zone? It's time to shatter these mental chains and unleash the formidable beast within. Comfort zones, while providing a sense of security and familiarity, are often the biggest impediments to growth and transformation. They are the invisible walls that confine us, the mental shackles that restrain our potential. But within each of us lies an inner beast, a powerful force of ambition, resilience, and determination that is waiting to be unleashed. Breaking free from our comfort zones requires courage. It demands us to confront our fears, to challenge our limits, and to step into the unknown. It's about making the conscious decision to leave behind the familiar and venture into the realm of uncertainty. It's about choosing growth over comfort, potential over security, dreams over complacency. Number 4. The resilient few. Discipline is not a virtue for the weak-willed or the faint-hearted. It's a quality that belongs to the resilient few, those who are willing to rise when the world is still asleep, those who seek solutions instead of excuses. Life, in its relentless march, waits for no one, and success doesn't always favor the most talented. It favors the most disciplined. The journey of discipline is a solitary one. It's about waking up before dawn, putting in the work when no one is watching, pushing through the pain when everyone else would have given up. It's about choosing the steep and rugged path of self-improvement over the smooth and easy road of complacency. In the arena of life, It's not always the most talented who stand victorious. More often than not, it's those who display an unwavering commitment to discipline. It's those who understand that talent can only take you so far, but discipline can take you all the way. It's those who realize that success is less about having the right opportunities and more about making the most of the opportunities you have. Number 5. Acting despite feelings. It doesn't matter how you feel today. Are you exhausted, disheartened? Are your muscles screaming in protest and your mind whispering words of surrender? Welcome to the club. This is the arena where champions are forged, where the battle between winners and losers is waged. The defining factor that separates winners from losers is that winners act despite their feelings. They understand that discipline is not a fair-weather friend, it's a constant companion. Discipline is akin to a muscle. Just as muscles need to be exercised, strained, and pushed to their limits to grow stronger, discipline too needs to be tested and challenged to become more robust. It's not about indulging in what you enjoy, but about committing to what you need to do. In the face of fatigue, winners don't retreat. When discouragement sets in, they don't surrender. They understand that their feelings are transient, but their goals are permanent. They recognize that their emotions are valid, but they should not dictate their actions. They know that success isn't achieved by acting on how they feel in the moment, but by acting on what they need to do to reach their goals. Number 6. Pursuing eternal glory. Our journey in life is not about seeking fleeting pleasures or transient successes. It's about striving for eternal glory, a legacy that transcends time and space. If you truly desire to transform your life, then it's time to stop hunting for shortcuts and start embracing discomfort. In the pursuit of eternal glory, there are no shortcuts. There's only the long, winding road of discipline, perseverance, and resilience. Perfection is not the goal here, relentlessness is. It's about getting up every time you fall, learning from every mistake you make, and growing stronger with every challenge you face. It's about facing the pain, embracing the fatigue, and pursuing your goals with an insatiable tenacity that refuses to be quenched. Number 7. Self-reliance and accountability. Understand this fundamental truth. No one else will carry us uphill or train us for the ascent. No, dear friends, it's our own strength, our own discipline, that propels us forward. It's our determination that fuels our journey, our resilience that helps us overcome obstacles. We are the architects of our own destiny, the masters of our own journey. It's time to take control of our lives and carve our own path. Don't waste time blaming others or lamenting about the world's perceived unfairness. We are the ones who shape our future, who determine our path, who decide our success. Choosing the path of responsibility is choosing the path of hard work, sacrifice, and dedication. Number 8. Organization as a key to success. In my journey through life, I've encountered numerous successful individuals, and one common trait among them all was their high level of organization. Being organized is not merely about tidiness or orderliness. It's a comprehensive approach to life that encompasses getting things done efficiently, maintaining order in chaos, fulfilling promises reliably, and being punctually present where needed. Organization is not just a trait, it's a lifestyle, a crucial element for success. It's the backbone that supports the structure of achievement, the thread that ties together the fabric of accomplishment. It's about creating a system, a structure that allows you to navigate through life's challenges with ease and efficiency. But remember, every freedom, every success in your life comes with a cost, and that cost is discipline. Discipline is the currency with which we pay for our freedoms, our successes. It's the price we pay for being organized, for being efficient, for being successful. Have you ever felt life dealt you a rough hand, faced challenges that seemed too great to overcome? You are not alone. As a man, life will beat you, and when that happens, people count you out. They will think that you will never achieve anything. Listen, everyone will always underestimate you. You must make them pay for it, and the only way to do that is by making a comeback. A comeback so great it shuts everyone up. When life beats you down, you will lose, hurt, and feel pathetic. But you know people would love for you to stay down. They like for you to never reach your potential. This is not where your story ends, say to yourself. That's when you disappear and reappear a few months later to shock the world. In only 1 year, far from weak. That's all because you decided to make a comeback. When you do this, you'll notice the people that once underestimated you will start to admire you. I will tell you 4 steps to turn your life around and make the greatest comeback of your life. And if you mess up any step of this, especially the last, you'll regret it. Step 1. Go ghost mode and embrace solitude. It's not just about being alone. It's about willingly isolating oneself from the noise of the world to focus on personal growth. Every great man in history had a phase where he wasn't seen by others, a period where no one even knew what he was working on while he was making moves in the shadows. This is known as ghost mode, and it's the cornerstone of any comeback. Listen, ghost mode is immensely powerful. You'll accomplish amazing things without distractions from the outside world, enabling you to concentrate on your goals. However, I must caution you, adopting ghost mode is challenging. In ghost mode, you silence the external clamor, leaving you alone with your thoughts. You'll face your deepest fears and emotions on this journey. This is why many falter in maintaining ghost mode. They can't bear their own shadows, their pain, and their past traumas, so they hastily seek distractions. They revert to video games or mindless social media scrolling. But if you genuinely aspire for a great comeback, you must confront your own darkness. You must channel your deepest emotions as motivation to strive even harder. Step 2. Learn a new skill. Once you've successfully entered ghost mode and cut off distractions, the next crucial part in your journey to comeback is to learn a new skill. This isn't just about adding another feather to your cap. It's about choosing a skill that can become a source of income and provide future freedom. It's important to understand that achieving greatness doesn't require you to be a polymath. You don't need to be proficient in a multitude of skills. In fact, it's often the mastery of a single, well-chosen skill that can transform your life forever. Of course, you can pick any skill. The key is to choose a good one and start quickly. Listen, the faster you get started, the sooner you'll be on your way to making the great comeback you envision. Unfortunately, most self-improvement enthusiasts fail to learn any new skills. They consume endless amounts of information, reading books and watching YouTube videos, but they fail to put this knowledge into practice. This is a critical mistake because knowledge, no matter how extensive, is worthless unless it's applied. So, don't fall into the same trap as these self-improvement enthusiasts who never seem to achieve anything substantial. Don't scatter your energy learning 1,000 random things. Instead, focus your efforts on mastering a single skill and diligently put it into action. That's how you win. Step 3. Harness the power of retribution. The initial 2 steps are sufficient for you to make a massive comeback, but I'm going to share something powerful with you to help you push even further beyond. Harness the power of retribution. Think of anyone that ever did you wrong, all your haters, all your enemies, and seek vengeance against them, but not in a violent way. You are going to kill them with success, bury them with your achievements, and silence them with your triumphs. I refer to this as productive vengeance. Moreover, this retribution can extend beyond individuals to events or circumstances. It doesn't even have to be a person. For example, if you've seen your mother struggle to pay the bills as a child, your productive vengeance may be against never having to see your mother endure such hardship again. Any experience that stirs up anger within you can be harnessed. Compile a list of your adversaries. Write down all the instances that have caused you pain, and then embark on a mission to punish them with your success. Number 4. Make a list of great. Productive vengeance is about harnessing negativity as fuel and competing against the world. It's a powerful strategy for a comeback, but it's equally important to compete against yourself. This can be achieved by making a list of great things. This competition with oneself is not about outdoing your past achievements, but about striving to become a better version of yourself. This process begins with envisioning the person you aspire to be and identifying the qualities that define this ideal self. Now, consider all the admirable qualities this person possesses. What actions is this person taking? Document these attributes and actions in a list. For instance, this person might be someone who never allows distractions, such as entertainment or fleeting dopamine rushes, to divert them from their mission. He carries stress and problems others can't handle. He does not chase instant gratification, but always delays gratification for bigger rewards. He controls his emotions. Once you've identified these qualities, document them in a list. This list is not just a collection of attributes, it's a blueprint of the person you aspire to be. Display this list somewhere you can see it regularly. This way, you are constantly reminded to stay in line with that man, and you can correct yourself the moment you veer off course. The journey to becoming this ideal self is not a sprint, but a marathon. It requires consistent effort and self-reflection, but rest assured, with time and perseverance, you will gradually evolve into this person. This transformation into your ideal self is the ultimate victory in your journey of making a great comeback. Remember, the competition is not with the world, but with the person you were yesterday. Strive to be better than you were, and before you know it, you will become the person you aspire to be. To sum it up, all you need for your comeback season are no distractions, a new skill, and endless fuel. Your time is coming, they just don't know it yet. It's time to get ahead of the 99% and join the 1% of top 1% of achievers. To do that, you're going to have to do what the 99% are unwilling to do. For too long, we have fallen short of our goals, slipping in areas we promised ourselves we would improve. We binge watch to the point it's sore to watch anymore, but we can't avert our eyes because the dopamine thrill has consumed us. Most people chase instant gratification. It's so easy to win if you can control your own mind. This cycle of procrastination and missed opportunities is where 99% of people are stuck. How many times have you promised yourself that tomorrow will be different, only to fall back into the same patterns? So, what's the secret to success? Well, being in the top 1% of self-improvers is simpler than you think. The majority are doing it wrong. Beating your competition isn't about being talented or lucky. It's just about showing up every day and setting the intention to try and do it a little bit better. The top 1% understand concepts that the rest don't. By following this video, I'll show you what you need to do to be in the 1%. Set a big goal. So, what sets the top 1% apart from the rest? It's not talent, it's not luck, and it's not even hard work. It's their ability to set big, audacious goals for themselves and work towards achieving them. The level of competition is fiercest for realistic goals, paradoxically making them the most time and energy consuming. 99% of people are convinced they are incapable of achieving great things, so they aim for the mediocre. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not talented enough. Let me tell you something. Those are just excuses. The truth is, anyone can set big goals and achieve them, no matter who they are or where they come from. You can separate yourself from the pack so much more easily by being consistent than by being talented or enthusiastic. So, don't be afraid to set big goals for yourself. Don't be afraid to aim high and push yourself to be the best version of yourself. Remember, consistency beats talent and enthusiasm. And always keep in mind that failure is not the end. It's just an opportunity to learn and evolve. The 1% know that when setting any goal, you must hold the failure and evolve mindset. Failure and evolution. I know what it's like to fail. I've failed many times in my life. But I've also learned to evolve. When I set a goal, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to achieve it. I'm willing to cut out bad habits and adopt new ones, and I'm willing to learn from my failures. That's the key to success. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent and willing to learn. Let me give you an example. When I first started working out, I had a goal to get in shape, but I kept failing. I would start strong, but then I would get discouraged and give up. I would tell myself, I'm just not cut out for this. But then I realized that I was doing it all wrong. I was trying to change everything at once, and it was too much for me to handle. So, I decided to take a different approach. I started by focusing on one thing at a time. I started with just going to the gym 3 times a week, and then gradually increased the frequency and intensity of my workouts. And you know what? It worked. I started to see results, and I started to feel more confident. But then I hit a plateau. I wasn't seeing the results I wanted, and I started to get discouraged again. But this time, I didn't give up. I took a step back and looked at what I was doing. I realized that I was still doing too much, too soon. So, I scaled back and focused on just 1 or 2 things at a time. And you know what? It worked again. I started to see results, and I started to feel more confident. That's the key to success. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent and willing to learn. It's about taking small steps towards your goal and then adapting and adjusting as you go. It's about being willing to fail and then learning from those failures. And it's about being willing to evolve and adapt as you go. So, don't be discouraged if you fail. Don't be discouraged if you don't see results right away. Just keep moving forward and keep learning. And always remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent and willing to learn. Momentum. Momentum is one of the great keys to achieving any goal. One change can create a ripple effect, and before you know it, you're on a roll. When I started pushing myself in the gym, it built momentum in other areas of my life. That one change caused me to eat healthier and adopt other good habits. Why would I push myself that hard in the gym if I was going to compromise my discipline outside of it? One thing can be the great change that generates your momentum to start crushing it. This momentum has ultimately crushed my procrastination. Now, when the thought of putting off the workout for an hour or 2 comes into my head, I remember what Chris Williamson said, "Inaction breeds fear, while action breeds courage." Momentum is like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small but gains speed and size as it goes. Once you build momentum, it becomes easier to maintain your progress and tackle new challenges. Focus on making that first change and let the momentum carry you forward. And the best part is, momentum can be sustained. It's not just a one-time event, but a continuous process. You can keep building on your momentum, and before you know it, you'll be achieving things you never thought possible. Design your life. The top 1% of people in the world are not just successful, they're intentional about their lives. They design their lifestyle, while the 99% let their lifestyle control them. They're not victims of circumstance. They're creators of their own destiny. The majority are in the 99%. But if you're watching this, you want to be different. You want to be part of the 1% who are living a life on purpose. Look at your competition. They're so distracted, itching to pick up their phone again, starving to indulge in horrendous habits, feeding that cheap dopamine addiction. This cheap dopamine makes you feel like you're winning when you're not. It's a temporary high, but it's not a sustainable way to live. Trust me, not long ago, I was in that position. I was addicted to social media, and I was constantly comparing myself to others. But I realized that I was wasting my time, and I needed to make a change. If you're watching this, you're already ahead of a lot of people. To get ahead of 99% of people, you need to delay gratification. We all know the feeling of instant gratification. We crave it, we seek it out, and we often sacrifice our long-term goals for it. But what if I told you that there's a better way? A way to delay gratification and achieve more in the long run? Cheap dopamine rewards are everywhere. They're unhealthy foods, binge watching social media, or watching a full season of anime in one day. You know in the back of your head when a habit is no good for you. But we often can't resist the temptation. But giving up these cheap rewards for delayed dopamine rewards is crucial. Think about it. When you finish a hard workout, you feel a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. When you complete a challenging task, you feel a sense of pride and fulfillment. These are the delayed dopamine rewards that are worth striving for. Move with intention. To get ahead of the 99%, you need to move with intention. This isn't just basic advice. It's a mindset shift that can transform your life. Your intention is everything. It's the small habits that add up to make a big difference. Think about it. How you spend your mornings, how you talk to yourself, what you read, what you watch, who you share your energy with, and who has access to you. These are all small habits that can either hold you back or propel you forward. The 1% start their day with intention, planning their day the night before. They know exactly what they want to achieve, and they prioritize their tasks accordingly. They're not just going through the motions, they're moving with purpose and direction. On the other hand, the 99% wake up aimlessly, wondering what to do with their morning. Maybe they rush to work or school because they woke up late, constantly behind all day, holding on to that feeling of regret for slacking off in the morning. Moving with intention means being mindful of your actions and choices. Set clear goals for each day and prioritize tasks that align with your long-term objectives. Be intentional about how you spend your time and energy and protect it from distractions and negativity. The mindset. Finally, you must hold the right mindset to be in the top 1%. It's not just about having the right skills or knowledge. It's about having the right mindset. Ask yourself, how badly do you really want to succeed? Do you want to achieve your goals and live the life you've always dreamed of? Until you find momentum, it's going to be hard. But that's okay. I'm human and struggle the same as you. I've had my fair share of doubts and fears, but I've learned to overcome them. Whenever I get frustrated that a task is too hard, I remember this quote from Alex Hormozy. This is what hard feels like. Being in the top 1% isn't easy. If it were, everyone would be in it. Some days, I struggle and don't want to follow through with the mission, but it's far less painful to do a hard task than to feel the pain of regret when you're older and looking back at what your life could have been. Your mindset is the foundation of your success. It's the way you think, feel, and behave that determines your outcomes. Cultivate a growth mindset that embraces challenges and sees failures as opportunities to learn. Stay focused on your goals and remind yourself why you started. Keep pushing forward, even when it gets tough. Don't give up.
What if I told you there's a hidden motivation switch located deep in the brain that can make hard work not just bearable, but something you actually crave? Science reveals this secret, showing how you can reprogram your mind to unlock a level of motivation that's more powerful than money, praise, or fame. One that practically forces your brain to crave doing the hard work you keep putting off. Get ready to discover the key to turning procrastination into productivity and transforming your toughest tasks into your greatest passions. Stick around. Your brain is about to change the way you work forever. The problem. Picture this. You set your alarm early, determined to seize the day with energy and purpose. But when it rings, you hit snooze repeatedly. Last night's enthusiasm has vanished, and the blanket feels like a concrete slab pinning you down. The day ahead feels like an enemy to avoid rather than a challenge to conquer. At your desk, the cursor blinks, and your to-do list stares back at you. You know you should start working, but something inside just won't cooperate. Lunchtime comes and goes, and you promise yourself you'll begin soon. But the afternoon finds you lost in distractions, chasing trivial tasks while the important ones loom large and untouched. As the day ends, the weight of what you didn't accomplish settles in. You put your head on the pillow, feeling the sting of disappointment, knowing you fell short of the potential you're capable of. One more day has slipped through your fingers. If you've experienced this depletion in drive, know this: you're not lazy. Procrastination isn't the problem, and there's nothing abnormal about you. The issue isn't just a lack of motivation. It's the absence of a specific type of motivation that we'll explore in a moment. Today, we'll uncover the science-backed solutions to create limitless motivation, even for the most difficult and laborious tasks. It starts with upgrading your motivational fuel source, transforming how you approach your day, and tapping into a wellspring of drive you've never imagined. The two types of motivation. There are two types of motivational fuel, and one vastly outperforms the other. The trouble is that most of us rely on the weaker of the two. Extrinsic motivation comes from outside sources like money, status, and praise. When fueled by extrinsic factors, you act for the sake of a reward. While effective, this type of motivation is short-lived. Our brains find anticipation more rewarding than attainment, as dopamine, which enhances focus and motivation, surges when we anticipate something and plummets once it's achieved. Think of extrinsic rewards like fossil fuels. They provide a temporary boost, but eventually run out. Intrinsic motivation, on the other hand, comes from within. It is fueled by curiosity, purpose, and mastery. With intrinsic motivation, you act for the joy of the activity itself, not for an external reward. It's like listening to a song for the joy of the music, rather than to reach the end. Intrinsic motivation is akin to fusion energy, a self-sustaining, long-lasting, and incredibly efficient force. It outperforms extrinsic motivation by making hard work easier, leading to an upward spiral of skill development and access to flow states, where we become deeply immersed in our work. Extrinsic motivation can get you started, but it's intrinsic motivation that keeps you going. Consider a rocket. It needs a booster to launch, but once it reaches escape velocity, it can cruise on its main engines. To upgrade your motivational fuel, focus on 5 intrinsic motivators: curiosity, mastery, audacity, purpose, and autonomy. I'll show you how to dial up each of these for unstoppable motivation. The power of intrinsic motivation. So why are these intrinsic motivators so incredibly powerful and vital for our drive? The secret lies in the way they trigger the release of performance-enhancing neurochemicals like norepinephrine, dopamine, and acetylcholine. These chemicals not only sharpen focus but also lower cognitive load, creating the perfect conditions for achieving flow state, that optimal state of consciousness where we feel and perform at our best. When you're in flow, your brain is bathed in a cascade of neurochemicals, including endorphins, serotonin, anandamide, and even oxytocin during group flow states. These chemicals flood your brain, amplifying creativity and productivity while enhancing your sense of well-being. It's like unlocking a supercharged version of yourself, where challenges become exhilarating rather than exhausting, and the line between work and play blurs. Understanding and harnessing the power of intrinsic motivation can transform your approach to tasks, leading to profound improvements in both personal fulfillment and performance. How to hack your brain. Intrinsic motivators are incredibly potent because they don't just push you into a flow state, they create a cycle where flow enhances your intrinsic motivation, and that motivation, in turn, leads to more flow. This virtuous cycle becomes a self-perpetuating engine of motivation. Once you're caught in this powerful loop, where intrinsic motivation fuels flow, and flow enhances intrinsic motivation, you become incredibly driven. This is the secret behind the sustained motivation of industry titans like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, who can maintain extreme motivation for decades. It's not just limited to business leaders, though. Albert Einstein's lifelong curiosity led to groundbreaking discoveries like the theory of relativity, and Marie Curie's passion and purpose drove her to pioneer research in radioactivity, earning her 2 Nobel Prizes. Vincent van Gogh's love for his art resulted in iconic and celebrated masterpieces, while athletes like Michael Jordan and Serena Williams were propelled by mastery and autonomy, achieving 6 NBA championships and 23 Grand Slam titles, respectively. What do all these peak performers have in common? Their intrinsic motivators are consistently locked in and maxed out, creating a cycle of motivation that builds upon itself over time. By understanding and enhancing your intrinsic motivators, you can tap into this cycle and unlock an unstoppable source of motivation. Now, let's dive into each of these 5 intrinsic motivators and explore how you can amplify them in your own professional life, achieving a level of motivation that propels you forward. First up is curiosity, the natural impulse to explore and learn. We've all experienced moments when we're supposed to focus on something else, but our minds keep wandering to that one fascinating topic. Wherever your mind drifts, it's a compass pointing towards your curiosity. Curiosity isn't just a desire to know, it's an irresistible need to explore and understand. In fact, as Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, the godfather of flow, once said, the flow concept itself was developed out of sheer curiosity, a quest to solve an intriguing puzzle about human behavior. From a neurological standpoint, curiosity activates the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine, which increases attention and makes learning pleasurable. Next, we have mastery, the drive to continually improve and excel in what you do. If you've ever been passionate about a sport, you've likely experienced the thrill of wanting to be better today than yesterday. That's mastery at work. You don't just want to succeed, you want to understand how to do it better. Mastery involves skill acquisition and releases dopamine and endorphins, creating a feedback loop that enhances focus and fuels a desire for greater challenges. This upward spiral of growth and engagement is a hallmark of flow, the pinnacle of intrinsic motivation. The third intrinsic motivator is autotelicity, which is about loving what you do for its own sake. It's that feeling of staying late at work not because you have to, but because you want to. With autotelicity, the line between work and play blurs, and activities become rewarding in themselves. This concept is at the heart of flow, where you're so immersed in the task that it feels like the most important thing in the world. Purpose is the fourth intrinsic motivator, taking autotelicity and applying it to a greater cause beyond yourself. It's the belief that your work contributes to something meaningful, something that matters. Without purpose, even a job you're passionate about can feel unfulfilling. But with purpose, your work becomes a mission, not just a paycheck. Purpose ramps up levels of oxytocin and serotonin, key players in social bonding, mood stability, and long-term well-being. Finally, we have autonomy, the sense of ownership and control over your work. It's that feeling of freedom when you're tackling a project your way, without micromanagement. Autonomy gives you the agency to pursue your curiosities, engage in autotelic activities, and fulfill your purpose. Our brains are wired to thrive when we have a say in our actions. Now, let's explore how to maximize each of these intrinsic motivators and harness their power. Start by identifying your intrinsic motivators and assessing where you currently stand with each one in your work. Consider how these 5 motivators are built into your professional life and to what extent. Let's take each motivator one at a time, starting with curiosity. Curiosity. Think back over the last month. How often did you find yourself diving into content about your work during your personal time? If your curiosity motivator feels low or could use a boost, there are 2 key elements you need to focus on. First, leverage from learning. When the knowledge you gain directly enhances your work, it creates a positive cycle. You learn something new, apply it, and see real, positive changes in your performance or outcomes. Second, immediate feedback from learning, which acts as a flow trigger. This involves witnessing the direct impact of your new knowledge in action, ideally as soon as possible. To elevate your curiosity motivator, there must be a clear connection between learning something and witnessing meaningful change in your work. If that's not happening now, consider modifying aspects of your work so that the investment in learning leads to maximum immediate feedback and positive impact. Next up, let's explore how you can cultivate mastery. Mastery. Reflect on the past month. To what extent did you feel a burning desire to improve the skills essential for your work? And how much will mastering these skills impact your success? To amplify your drive for mastery, start by identifying all the skills and sub-skills that will propel you towards your long-term goals. Once identified, commit to learning and practicing these skills with deliberate intention. Imagine yourself as a professional athlete or musician. Practice at the edge of your comfort zone, continuously correcting mistakes until new behaviors become ingrained on a neurophysiological level. If you find that there's no room for improvement in the skills related to your current job, it might be time to consider a career shift. Look for a field that offers limitless possibilities for mastery, where the journey of continuous improvement is deeply embedded in the work itself. Next, let's explore how to harness the power of autotelic experiences to fuel your drive. Autotelicity. In the past 30 days, how often did you find yourself diving into your core work activities simply because you wanted to, without the pressure of deadlines, meetings, or formal work hours? How often have you craved these activities when you weren't engaged in them? Here's a counterintuitive but effective way to boost autotelicity. Don't just focus on what you like to do for its own sake. Instead, ask yourself, what am I naturally good at? You're likely much better at some things than others, thanks to your innate strengths. These strengths make certain tasks feel less like work and more like play. Building a career around your strengths is often more sustainable than focusing solely on activities you love. For example, while you might enjoy playing video games, turning that into a viable career could be challenging. The key is to trust that by focusing on your strengths, you will develop autotelicity over time. Research shows that working within your strengths can trigger a state of flow. The more time you spend in an activity while in flow, the more you'll come to love that activity. Now, let's explore how to harness the power of purpose to drive your intrinsic motivation further. Purpose. First, do a gut check. Ask yourself if the organization you work for or the work you do has a clear purpose attached to it. Is it a purpose you can support and feel enthusiastic about dedicating your energy to? If so, That's a strong starting point. If not, and if your role or company doesn't align with your values or hold any meaning for you, it might be time to consider a career change. However, if you can find even a small sense of purpose in your current job, here's how to amplify it. Research in positive psychology indicates that having a well-defined purpose and a clear connection between that purpose and your work increases both motivation and job satisfaction. Begin by condensing your life's mission into a single, focused sentence, such as promote sustainable development for a healthier planet. Then, each day, link your work tasks to this purpose. Finally, consider the importance of autonomy in your role. Autonomy. Over the past 30 days, consider how much control you've had over the how, what, why, and when of your work. Were you able to choose between projects, decide when to start your day, or work independently without being micromanaged? Increasing autonomy can be approached in two ways: perceptually and literally. First, zoom out and reframe your current job within the broader context of your life trajectory. Even a low autonomy role can feel more autonomous if it's a stepping stone toward a future you are actively designing. For example, if you're a junior sales rep, focus on the skills you're gaining to eventually start your own business. This mindset shift boosts your sense of autonomy by integrating your current work into your long-term goals. Another way to enhance autonomy is by developing what we call FU autonomy. Similar to having FU money, this concept involves building a robust skill set, network, and knowledge base, giving you the freedom to pursue other options at any time. This sense of choice can alleviate the frustration of a low autonomy job because you know you have the power to move on when you choose. Interestingly, you don't need complete autonomy over every aspect of your work. Focus on the parts of your job you can control and own them fully. Outside of work, dedicate time to activities where you have full autonomy. This balance is often enough to satisfy the need for control. Start by identifying which intrinsic motivator is currently lowest and work on boosting it. Improving one can provide the energy to enhance the others. Aim to increase each intrinsic motivator by 5 points per year, reaching a balance where your motivation is consistently high. As you shift your motivation from extrinsic to intrinsic, you'll find it easier to maintain motivation even through life's challenges. When your intrinsic motivators are aligned, engaging with work becomes effortless and enjoyable. Over time, you'll be able to tune into these motivators as naturally as you feel your own heartbeat, allowing for quick course corrections. This transformation leads to a state where working hard feels as effortless as playing a video game, driven by intrinsic satisfaction rather than external rewards. Elevating your intrinsic motivation makes you less dependent on external validation and more resilient to life's ups and downs. You'll pursue mastery over money, purpose over position, audacity over applause, curiosity over conformity, and autonomy over approval. As you refine this internal drive, you'll access flow states more frequently, working with a passion and ease that transforms challenges into engaging, rewarding experiences.
Heroes and villains are born from the same origin: pain. Pain is life's great equalizer. What separates the two is not their struggle, but their response. The villain allows pain to twist their heart, whispering, "The world hurt me, so I'll hurt it back." The hero, however, takes that same pain and says, "The world hurt me, so I'll ensure no one else feels this way." Heroes don't wear capes, they wear scars. They rise from the ashes of their hardships, not to seek revenge, but to build a better world. The choice is always yours. Will you use your pain as a weapon of destruction or a tool for transformation? Facing your toughest opponent. Look in the mirror, right there. You see them? That's your toughest opponent. It's not your rival at work, your critic online, or the person standing in your way. It's you. Every morning, that reflection challenges you. Every decision you make is a silent battle against procrastination, self-doubt, and fear. The mirror is the one opponent you can't cheat, lie to, or run from. And when you conquer them, when you conquer yourself, there's no one left who can stop you. The power of self-reflection. At the end of the day, the world grows quiet. That's your time. Sit on your bed, look inward, and ask, what am I doing wrong that I know I can fix? It's a question that burns because the answer demands change. You'll hear it clearly. The habit you've avoided breaking, the apology you haven't made, the project you keep postponing. These are the cracks in your foundation. Fix them. Not tomorrow, not next week. Start tonight. Because small intentional changes create unshakable strength over time. Fear, a signal to jump. When fear grips you, it's not a stop sign, it's a green light. Fear isn't the enemy. It's a compass pointing you toward growth. If it makes your stomach churn and your knees shake, it's probably the exact thing you need to do. You can stay in your comfort zone where it's safe, predictable, and unremarkable. Or you can leap into the unknown, risk the fall, and discover the strength you never knew you had. Fear doesn't keep you small. You do. Excuses versus discipline. If you want something, truly want it, you'll find a way. But if it's just a passing desire, you'll find an excuse. Every time. You see, the gap between those who succeed and those who fail isn't talent or luck. It's discipline. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. It's doing what's right when nobody's watching and when every fiber of your being begs you to quit. Excuses are easy. Discipline is hard. Choose hard. The myth of motivation. Motivation is fleeting, unreliable. Some days it shows up like a loyal friend, cheering you on. But most days, it's a no-show. That's why success doesn't rely on motivation. It relies on consistency. You don't have to feel like it. You don't have to wait for inspiration to strike. You just have to do the work. Day in, day out, rain or shine. Success doesn't knock on your door. It rewards those who show up, even when they'd rather stay in bed. Pain as a catalyst for growth. Pain is the harshest teacher, but also the most effective. It strips you down, exposes your weaknesses, and forces you to confront the parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. But here's the secret. Pain isn't there to break you. It's there to build you. Every ache, every scar, every sleepless night, it's all shaping you into someone stronger. Growth doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It comes through sweat, tears, and perseverance. Owning your mind. Life is chaotic. Things will go wrong, plans will fail, people will disappoint you, and opportunities will slip through your fingers. But no matter what happens, you have one thing no one can take, your mind. If you don't control it, the world will. It'll fill your head with doubt, distraction, and defeat. But when you take ownership of your thoughts, you take ownership of your life. So stop waiting for the world to hand you peace. Create it for yourself. The fear of failure. You're not really afraid of failing. You're afraid of being seen failing, of hearing the whispers, facing the judgment, and feeling the sting of humiliation. But here's the irony. The people judging you, they're too busy worrying about their own failures to care about yours. And those who matter, the ones who truly support you, they'll applaud your courage to try. So stop living for their opinions and start living for your potential. The reality of winning and losing. Winning is addictive, but losing is inevitable. The question isn't if you'll lose, it's how you'll respond when you do. Will you let defeat define you, or will you use it as a stepping stone to your next victory? Champions aren't those who never fall. They're those who rise every single time. Because in the game of life, persistence always beats perfection. Facing adversity head-on. Life doesn't care about your plans. It'll throw curveballs, knock you down, and dare you to stay there. But adversity isn't a punishment. It's a test. Every setback is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you're stronger than you think. So when life gets tough, don't retreat. Stand tall. Face it head-on. The storm will pass, but the strength you gain will stay with you forever. Visualizing success. If you can see it and have the courage to say it, you can achieve it. Vision isn't just about dreaming, it's about believing so deeply in your potential that it becomes inevitable. Picture it in your mind. Speak it out loud. Act as if it's already yours. When preparation meets opportunity, success doesn't just happen, it's earned. The price of success. Greatness isn't handed out, it's paid for in full. The currency? Sacrifice, sweat, and relentless effort. Behind every champion, every innovator, every trailblazer is a story of sleepless nights, lonely roads, and unwavering focus. If you're not willing to pay the price, you don't deserve the reward. But if you are, there's nothing you can't achieve. Discipline over comfort. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Comfort is the trap that keeps you stuck. Discipline means showing up when you don't feel like it, pushing through when it hurts, in choosing growth over ease. It's not glamorous, but it's necessary. And the more you choose discipline, the less appealing comfort becomes. Every second counts. Time is your most valuable asset. Unlike money or possessions, once a second is gone, it's gone forever. Every moment you spend scrolling aimlessly, every hour you waste procrastinating, it's time you'll never get back. Treat your seconds like gold because they're building the life you'll look back on one day. Make it a masterpiece. Be water, my friend. Life is unpredictable. It'll twist, turn, and throw you off course. To succeed, you can't be rigid. You have to adapt. Like water, you must flow around obstacles, crash through barriers, and transform to fit every situation. Be flexible, yet unbreakable. Water carves mountains not through force, but persistence. Be water, my friend.
Let me paint you a picture. It's late at night. You're lying in bed scrolling through your phone. The screen glows as you jump between apps, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, but none of it feels fulfilling. You're exhausted, anxious, and wondering, why do I feel so out of control? Here's the truth no one tells you. The chaos isn't just out there in the world. It's also in here, in your mind. If you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or directionless, it's not because you're failing. It's because your mind is running on an outdated program. Think of it like this. If your mind were a computer, it's probably cluttered with too many tabs open, apps running in the background, and old files slowing it down. What you need is a reset, a complete mental reboot to clear out the noise and take back control. This video is going to show you how. Stick with me, and I'll give you a step-by-step guide to reset your mind, eliminate mental clutter, and build a system for clarity and focus in 2025. No fluff, no empty motivation, just actionable strategies that work. Here's the roadmap. First, we're going to uncover the hidden traps that hijack your mind. Next, I'll show you how to reset and rewire your brain for clarity and control. And finally, we'll dive into the habits and systems that will keep you in charge for good. If you miss even one part of this, you'll stay stuck while everyone else moves ahead. Let's go. Step 1. Understand the traps that hijack your mind. Let's start with the traps. You can't fix what you don't understand. There are 3 primary traps that keep you from taking control of your mind. Trap 1. The overload loop. We live in a world that bombards us with information. News, notifications, opinions. Your mind is drowning. When you're overstimulated, you can't think clearly. Decisions feel impossible. Your goals, they get buried under an avalanche of noise. To break this loop, you need to simplify. Stop consuming mindlessly. Start asking, does this add value to my life? If it doesn't, cut it out. Delete the app. Unfollow the account. Protect your mental bandwidth like your life depends on it, because it does. Trap 2. Comfort addiction. Comfort feels good, doesn't it? Scrolling endlessly, eating junk food, staying in bed a little longer. But comfort is a cage. It's where dreams go to die. Your mind tricks you into thinking you're safe, but in reality, you're stagnating. You need to rewire how you see comfort. Instead of craving the easy way, train yourself to crave growth, even when it's uncomfortable. Growth isn't painless, but it's the only way out of the trap. Trap 3. Negative self-talk. The third trap is negative self-talk. We all have that inner critic. It's the voice that says, you're not good enough, you're too late, or why even bother? Let me ask you this. Would you talk to a friend the way you talk to yourself? Probably not. Yet most of us let that negative voice run wild. Here's the truth. That voice is lying, but the longer you listen to it, the more you believe it. You need to replace it with a new narrative, one where you're the hero, not the victim. You'll learn how in the next step. Step 2. Reset your mind. Once you've identified the traps, it's time to reset. Think of this as a factory reset for your brain, clearing out the old programming and installing something better. Reset 1. Create mental space. Resetting your mind starts with creating space. Imagine a cluttered room. You can't focus or relax in it until you clean it up. Your mind works the same way. One of the most powerful tools for this is silence. Take 10 to 30 minutes each day to sit in silence. No phone, no TV, no music, just you and your thoughts. At first, it'll feel uncomfortable. Your brain will try to pull you back into distraction, but it's critical. In the silence, your mind begins to detox, but stick with it. This silence is where clarity begins. Reset 2. Reframe your mindset. Next, You need to reframe your mindset. Instead of focusing on problems, focus on possibilities. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" One way to do this is through journaling. Every morning, write down 3 affirmations and 1 goal for the day. For example, I am capable of achieving my goals. I am focused and disciplined. I am improving every day. Journaling isn't just a feel-good exercise. It's a way to rewire your brain for success. Reset 3. Detox your environment. You don't just need less noise. You need less everything. Look at your life, your schedule, your commitments, your possessions. What's truly essential? What's just clutter? Your environment shapes your mind. If your workspace, home, or digital life is cluttered, it's going to affect your focus and energy. Take one weekend to do a full detox. Declutter your home, organize your workspace, unsubscribe from emails, and delete apps that don't serve you. A clean space equals a clear mind. Step 3. Build systems for long-term control. Resetting your mind is powerful, but without systems, it won't last. Here's how to create habits that keep you in control. System 1. The Power Morning. Your morning sets the tone for your entire day. Mastering your mornings means taking control of how you start, intentionally and with purpose. Begin by creating a morning ritual that energizes your body, clears your mind, and sets clear intentions. This could include a brief meditation, journaling, or exercise, activities proven to boost focus and productivity. The key is consistency. By dedicating even 15 minutes each morning to this practice, you're signaling to your brain that you're in charge. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about starting the day with clarity and control. A powerful morning routine is your first step toward reclaiming your mind and your life. System 2. Focused deep work. In a world full of distractions, the ability to focus deeply has become a superpower. Deep work is about carving out uninterrupted blocks of time to tackle your most important tasks, those that require creativity, problem-solving, or critical thinking. Start by eliminating distractions. Put your phone on silent, close unnecessary tabs, and create a workspace that minimizes interruptions. Use techniques like the Pomodoro method or time blocking to structure your focus periods effectively. During this time, give your full attention to the task at hand. No multitasking. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but with practice, you'll notice increased efficiency and a deeper sense of accomplishment. Focused deep work isn't just about getting things done. It's about training your mind to engage fully, allowing you to produce your best work and take back control of your mental clarity. Your mind is your greatest asset. It can either be your biggest obstacle or your most powerful ally. The choice is yours. Here's the most important part. Commit to the process. Resetting your mind isn't a one-and-done deal. It's a daily practice, but every small step you take brings you closer to the life you want. 2025 is your year. The year you stop letting your mind control you. The year you take back your power. Follow these steps, and you won't just survive. You'll thrive. And remember, every small change adds up to something big.
As you embark on 2025, remember this. You have everything it takes to become the person you want to be. It starts with discipline, mindset, and a willingness to embrace challenges. The road ahead may not be easy, but every small step brings you closer to greatness. This is your year to rise, to transform, and to make your biggest dreams a reality. Let's make 2025 unforgettable, because you deserve it. Happy New Year.